Welcome back, YouTube. I would like to start off different by acknowledging that I have not been adhering to the system in terms of the way that traders are supposed to trade AlgoBox. And I recently had a phone call with the creator of AlgoBox, Vinny Emini, where he pointed that out to me. So this video is my statement that I'll work to do better going forward in terms of my execution with AlgoBox. And I would also like to take this opportunity to review some of my recent videos and point out the areas for improvement. So let's get started. Now here, this is May the 2nd. All right, so this is trade one. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, I didn't have those three losers, but I did have at least two. Although I think there is something to be said about how these are kind of close enough that it could probably all just be totaled as it could probably all just be put together as just one big loser, really, just considering how close they are. But yeah, that's a bit subjective here. But yeah, so I decided to chance it with a toe in the water because I had the audio box telling me that there was selling pressure. And yeah, that didn't go well. But so that's the three losers here. Yeah, that was good. So two contracts, that's quarter position there. And I close
the NQ3
on the green alpha omega.
Enigma long on the NQ1. Enigma long on the N.
Now this should have been three contracts here, so that's part of not trading the system because you want to increase your trade. Increase your trade size from trades 1 through 5.
NQ1.
So yeah, this should have been three contracts. Although I guess it kind of like worked out in my favor considering that this trade actually failed. But yeah.
NQ1.
See, now this was three contracts, but by this point, this should have actually been four contracts, really, if I had sized appropriately. So now I'm noticing that that's one of the things to work on is making sure that I'm doing my sizing right in trades 1 through 5. And yeah, this right here. All right, so I saw the green alpha omega come in on the 3 range bars, like the 3 tick size range bars, and then I guess I just closed once I saw the price go back up because that green alpha omega already made me nervous, and then when I saw it come back up, then I closed the position. But I'm actually thinking that the best way to do this would have just been to get my exits from the actual chart that I entered in on, because if we continue, we'll see that the price actually went for a lot longer. So all of this right here are ticks that I left on the table because I took this into account when really I should have been getting my exits from this chart that I actually entered in on. And that was another thing, was closing early. Although I think that was because I noticed a lot of time that when you have the audio box rolling hard, but the price still doesn't seem to be moving, then a lot of time there's a big pullback that follows that. So that's something that I was anticipating. But really the appropriate thing is to just let your trade play out. and not
Enigma
focusing
long
so
on the
much on what you think will happen. But yeah, this right here, the appropriate exit is when you have that opposing signal
Enigma
or
short on the
opposing
E3.
color, which I got in this case.
Enigma short on the NQ3.
And this is yet another thing that I messed up with is that right there was the fifth trade opportunity. And but really, and I'm calling this a bonus, but really this isn't a bonus. This is a trade number 6 because Vinny Emini pointed out to me that I was treating the bonus as just another trading opportunity when in reality the bonus is something that is another trade that you take when everything is lined up in your favor. So this would have been good as a bonus trade. I mean, outside of the fact that we're past the 5 mass trades that I was supposed to trade in the first place, but this would have been a good bonus trade if, say, the MACD Ultimate was a moderate or strong sell, and let's say this was a double Enigma or something like that, then that would have been a good bonus trade to take. And or maybe let's say it was just this short red Enigma, but there was a pullback up, so that minimized your risk because the bonus is only supposed to add to your P&L. You shouldn't be. I learned. He pointed out to me that you shouldn't be risking so much that you're putting the P&L that you already built up at risk. So yeah. So a bonus just has to be a trade opportunity where almost everything is lined up, and the trade is just not more or less screaming that you would take it. So I guess in my case, I would consider that where it's a trade in the direction of the MACD. You have the AlgoBox going with you, and there's even a slight pullback to reduce the risk in your entry. So something like that. But this just regular old trade here, yeah, definitely couldn't qualify that as a bonus. See, maybe if I waited for that pullback there, something like that. But yeah. And then I retried it, so that's another mess up there. But I did reverse. Well, I didn't reverse, but I just closed and then took an opposite position. So I was playing the audio box, and that's another thing about not playing with the audio box. I'm thinking more that I should just close out my position rather than trying to play with the audio box because with something that I can't really practice and play back. I think it's just way too easy for me to get caught up in that back and forth that comes with trying to switch my position based on what the audio box is telling me. So I'm thinking that a better way to play it would be just for me to just close my position. So yeah, that would have been a good bonus if I had maybe entered in on a pullback because the MACD was red, so I did have that going with me, and there was a strong trend downward. So if I had just waited on a pullback or something like that, and then to just catch a like 10, 15 ticks or something like that, then yeah, that would have been a good bonus. But just the way I entered and played it, that wasn't a good bonus trade. That was just an over trading trade 6 right there. So yeah.
Enigma short on the NQ1.
All right, yeah. So this one, I entered in late, because I was actually waiting for the price to pull back some more before I entered because I was late on that entry, probably because I was looking at another chart. But yeah, this I took long. Yeah, I took that long, and yeah, when I have the vertical line, that means there's already been 3 losers. And I guess yeah, the first loser just off the chart. But yeah. All right, so I closed and then took an opposing position, But see, the problem with this was that at this point I was already at the back of the Enigma, so the appropriate thing to do would have just been to just scrap this trade, especially since the AlgoBox came in at a time where the price was already at the back of the Enigma. And then that's another thing is I have to make sure that the stops for my ATM strategies are wide enough, because every time I take my mouse off of the buy and sell markers, it's like, playing a video game, and like, I don't know, you're in the middle of a race, but you just drop the controller out of your hands, and yeah, you just don't have your hands on the controllers. So and you leave yourself open to to not being able to pivot, and I don't know, change tactic based on additional information that's coming in. So I just have to make sure that I'm keeping my mouse on my controllers as much as possible, and that's connected to making sure that my ATM stops are wide enough so that I don't have to constantly move back into the chart to put them in the right location. But yeah. See, now that right there, I closed it early, and that's yet another issue is closing my trades early when there's not even anything that's going against me. And I do understand why I did it, which was that I was anticipating that this could possibly have ended up being a one tick wonder where, price goes just a few ticks below the price of the um of the latest, I don't know, low pivot or something like that, and then immediately reverse it back in the opposite direction, and that catches people in a trap. So that's something that I figured might happen here. But really, the appropriate exit would have just been to wait for a green signal of some sort to come in, and then you close on that, because I keep leaving ticks on the table when you close your trades early, because this actually kept going even further. So I shortchanged myself by closing early.
DCDMRTY on the one.
So yeah, nothing wrong with taking a double clock reversal.
Enigma long on the NQ1.
But when that Enigma came in, then I was just the part where I got stubborn, and instead of immediately closing, I was just like right when I decided to enter, this shows up, and so I just got stubborn, and I just wanted to see if maybe the price will break the Enigma, and we just stay inside of that zone of consolidation here. I mean, accumulation, the zone of accumulation. So I cost myself an extra like $50 just by being stubborn and not closing immediately. And then I went for the retry of that double cross reversal when I heard the AlgoBox coming in hard. Put some targets in the middle of the zone, which is okay. I can understand that. Dang, but okay, so you get double crosses again inside of the zone of accumulation. At the very least, I should have pulled my stops in, because any double cross that happens inside of a zone of accumulation, whether it's at the edges or in the middle, it can be a potential reversal. So you really have to watch out for that. So this double cross, and I was thinking about it too. I just didn't act on it. But yeah, I should have pulled my stops in. And in anticipation of a potential double cross reversal.
Enigma short on the NQ3. Enigma short on the E1. Enigma long on the RTY1.
Okay, so yeah, I heard the AlgoBox coming in. I let it go. And then I can understand me continuing to hold it past the back of the Enigma. But when that first down bar came in, that should have been an immediate exit. So I took too long to exit here.
Enigma
It should have
long
been
on the
quicker to exit.
NQ1.
And this was the good too. So we already broke this Enigma, and we had AlgoBox showing buying pressure. All right, so that was pretty good. And I made sure that I had the appropriate sizing going on, because this was, wait, hold on. Okay, yeah. So that was a mistake that I missed. Was obviously I was frustrated by how this was post double cross reversal went. I was frustrated about how the double cross reversal went, so I sized up too aggressively in my first entry with the cadence set up. So I mean, at most that should have been two contracts, which is a quarter position for me, and that was four contract. So the sizing is already all messed up here. So this should have been two or three contracts. So I mean, it was three contracts, but yeah, my sizing was messed up.
Enigma long on the NQ1.
And now here, I'm slow to react. I'm slow to react here, and I guess that was just me being affected by how the price just went straight through
Enigma long on the RTY1.
my last entry.
Enigma short on the E1.
All right, so I hear the audio box going, so I reversed my position, but then it just turned out that I ended up trading into another zone, another accumulation zone. So the sellers and the buyers were all getting absorbed. So I just got caught up here, and this is another reason why I'm thinking that I might want to consider just closing out when the audio box is against my position rather than trying to reverse, because yeah, sometimes it can work out, but and a lot of times in those times where it doesn't, then I'm left wondering, okay, where should my mental stop be on one of these reversal plays? And also a lot of times it can just be I can end up going back and forth, continuously reversing, and that also costs a lot of money and reduces the P&L. All right, so I hit the audio box drilling again, so I wanted to retry, and boom, it just snapped back on me again, and that's rough. So that's why that's why I'm really thinking about closing instead of reversing when the audio box is against me. Because yeah, it's rough when you get caught, when you end up getting caught in trading into an accumulation zone.
Enigma long on the E1.
Yeah, so everything pretty good here. And there we go. I just
DCDMRTY on the one.
That's another example where I closed early unnecessarily, even when there weren't any long signals that were going against me. I didn't even hear the audio box, the high pitched audio box sound going against me either. So another situation where I'm closing early unnecessarily, and that's costing me ticks unnecessarily. And yeah, by this point, this is just the trade where my drawdown gets hit. So that's the May 2nd. So go on to May 4th. Now I will say that this is a little tricky, these three losers, because there's actually two enigmas here. And of course we know that those back-to-back enigmas cancel each other out. So this last failure right here is a little bit subjective, but that's what I went with. And I guess you could tell that I was still struggling about whether this qualified, because there was a little bit of hesitation behind my entry on this latest Enigma short.
Enigma short on the RTY1.
Because I definitely could have entered faster, but I hesitated a little bit because of how bunched up together everything was. But yeah, that worked out.
Enigma long on the NQ1.
And again, I really need to make sure that my ATM stops are wide enough, so that has to be adjusted.
Target filled.
By himself, he's so impressed. All right, so here now the first mistake right here, I'm already off cadence because this would have been the first trade. But what happened with this one was when I noticed that, I was looking at another chart. So when I turned back to it and the price was already away from it, I just immediately rolled it off. But what would have been a good idea to do was to, at the very least, put a limit order in this price area, so that if it returned, then I could have called it for that move. So yeah, I bungled this one, and even if I had missed when the signal initially came in, I could have still caught the move by setting a limit order here, so that if price came back down, then yeah, I could profit off of it. So this should have been the real trade one for this cadence right here. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, but I missed that one. But yeah, outside of that, this was still a great trade. Had the AlgoBox going with me. Yeah, I had the AlgoBox going with me and everything, so that went well.
Enigma short on the Enigma long on the RTY1.
And so by that point, that would have been my two winners already, and that would have been the end of that session. I mean, barring, of course, a bonus with perfect entry conditions and all of that. Oh yeah, so I did the good. AlgoBox was against me. I reversed it, even though I'm seriously considering like just exiting trades rather than reversing, because reverses are a slippery slope. They can be a slippery slope. Yeah, and then Ninja Trader ended up freezing on me, so that's something that could happen. So that set me back 250, and I was already up about 280, 284. So yeah. And this one again, I'm off cadence, but this was actually because I had to open up the platform again. So this is just the way it showed up when I opened it. So I would have really had no way to even catch this in the first place. And as a matter of fact, that's actually beyond my max bars per minute, which is 200. But yeah, that can be flexible. I guess, if I feel that the speed is manageable, because a lot of the bars per minute stuff, it's that's up to your personal discretion based on the speed that you feel that you can manage.
Enigma on the RTY1.
But of course, it does come with Okay, I reversed my position.
Enigma on the RTY1.
All right, and yep, that was good. Let it go past and then close on the up bar. So that was good. But yeah, there wasn't really much I could do about this. Like, I opened up the platform and then I just marked out the losers, and I just happened to miss that one. But yeah. So I played that reversal good. So I give myself credit for that.
Enigma long on the NQ1.
Hey, and this is what I meant about the bars per minute being flexible. Because you can judge it on a case by case basis. Like, if you feel that the speed is manageable, and in this case the speed was pretty manageable for me, and my risk was pretty good here. If you look at how far back the ATM stop is,
Enigma long on the
that's
E3.
good. And so that's my two winners right there. So that should be the end of my session. See, and another problem right there, you closing early again when you should either let the price hit that stop or let it go until you get that opposing color. So I messed up again with closing my trade early.
Enigma short on the RTY1.
That was a slow reaction time right there. Could have reacted faster.
Enigma short on the RTY1.
I mean, I that was a good ad. Good ad. Close on opposing color, that good. Yeah. And carry that to the edge of the accumulation zone, that good. I mean, it actually went way past that, but I do think that the edge of an accumulation zone is a good place to consider an exit. Oh, I guess I don't know. At the very least, I probably could have brought my stop up to the middle of the accumulation zone, because that ended up going way further as well. So yeah, I mean, I do think it was a good exit, but there was also a different way I could have played it, where I could have caught even more ticks. So
Let's get down, let's get down.
and then this one,
Enigma short on the NQ3.
Let's get down, baby.
yeah. Again, I'm gonna have to add more ticks to the ATM stop, because I hit that sell market immediately as soon as I saw the 98 short Enigma come in. So yeah, I just need more room for my ATM stop.
One more night, all set before I go.
And that thing again where when I hear the audio about drilling, but the price just seems to be stagnant, then a lot of time there's a big pullback that happens after that. And I was right, a pullback did happen at this time, but it never actually hit my target. So again, that was another early close where I really should have just let it play out and wait for that opposing color.
I had no intention.
But I am glad that, you know, at the very least, I didn't sit at my desk all day and cut myself off at 90 minutes.
So in my
But yeah, that was a good session. There wasn't too much that went wrong there, but a lot of it is just not letting those runners go and just closing too early. So here, this is May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. All right. Right away we see that
Enigma short on the NQ3.
slow reaction. Stop needs to go back farther. Because actually, that is right when that
Enigma
yeah, right when that short came in, the price was at about 58, and then all the way to the back of the name was around 268. I mean, yeah, that's about 40 ticks right there. Dang, that's crazy. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to move
short
my
on the
stop back
NQ3.
farther for the ATM. All right, so I heard the audio box coming in. But again, another one of those situations where I might just want to consider closing out instead of trying to play reversals with these, because even though they can work out, a lot of times I get myself caught up in them and actually end up losing money trying to play reversals. Especially when adjusting it based off of input from AlgoBox. And AlgoBox isn't really something that I can practice with. So yeah, just watching this, I think I may be better served just closing out my position rather than trying to play reversals. All right, so we're back on the
Enigma
AlgoBox
long on the
ones.
NQ1.
I caught the first trade after 3 losers. That's good. All right, so I'm hearing audio box coming in. Hold on. Yeah, there you go. That the audio box coming in. And yet another reason why I'm thinking it would be better to just see, because I'm going back and forth between long and short, because in those zones of accumulation, you can get those sellers and buyers being absorbed, and then the price just goes back and forth. So just closing just seemed a much safer option. Cause yeah, that should have been a much bigger win than how this ended up going. I mean, well, not bigger, just it should have been a better trade than how it actually ended up playing out. Because it was a winning trade that turned into a losing trade. Yeah. And there you go, the audio box again. And of course I'm still a little slow to reverse my position because I have no way of knowing if the sellers are being absorbed or not. So I guess I was just trying to look for a little bit more movement before deciding to reverse. All right, so then I finally see that the price is moving down, so I take that reversal. It was late, but I took it. Let's see. And then I'm measuring out a potential Fibonacci 100% extension. But, I mean, really, in this play, I should have been more so just focusing on the Enigma and just tugging the back of the Enigma, getting out on that first up bar. But I guess I just saw it as another opportunity, trying to catch the 100% extension to the gold line. So that turned into a loser. That didn't have to be a loser. And then what I was talking about with off cadence here is that I just wanted to make note that off cadence is just like doing things in order. So, because I missed this 43 Enigma long, and that was actually because it was under my BPM. So I try to step away from the source when the market is moving too slow to avoid the temptation to trade and get caught up in bad trades and trying to force a trade. So that's why I missed this. But off cadence meaning that, okay, you already had this one winner right here. This was a loser. And then this one won. So that's two losers. Because with the cadence strategy, after you get those three losers in a row, then you have 5 trade opportunities to get 2 winners. Now, there were already, by this time, this will be the third Enigma after having those 3 losers that came before this vertical line here. So after having those 2 losers, 2 winners, then that would reset the cadence. So basically, you want to look to reset the cadence and look for 3 more losers. So that's what's meant by the off cadence trade here. Now, fortunately, it ended up working out in my favor. But yeah, this was off cadence. And I started it late because I think I stopped recording my screen once the speed got too slow. But when the speed got faster, I came back to my chart, but I forgot to start the recording. So I started the recording later by mistake. Yeah, and I'm not gonna fault myself. I'm not gonna fault myself for pulling my stop down because because yes, you're looking for an opposing color, but also sometimes the price can just return all the way back to your original point of entry, and it just so happened that you never ended up getting a green signal in between. So sometimes that can happen. So I won't fault myself for moving my stop down. Oh yeah, see, look, I mean, it happened anyway, and probably actually in the same place that I would have closed out in the first place. Okay, let's see why I closed here. Okay, yeah, I closed because I heard the AlgoBox come in to the short side. I don't know. I guess I was just nervous at this point. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a good exit or not, but I mean, I guess I can. I think that was a valid exit. If I heard the AlgoBox drilling like that, then I that was okay. I mean, even though it did eventually hit that profit target.
Enigma long on the NQ1.
Cause let's see right there, it was right under the green. Also, it wouldn't have actually hit my profit target. Okay, well. I guess that worked out. And I sized up. So this was 4 contracts, and then this was 5 contracts. Okay. Okay, you at almost at the back of the Enigma. Almost. But not quite. Come on. Okay, now we at the back of the Enigma. Oh. And see, what I did here, changing my ATM strategy to none so that I could peel off contracts using the bid. Limit orders from the buy bid, the buy bid button. The only problem was that I forgot to change my order quantity because my intention was to peel off contracts one at a time, and then just see if the price would continue going down. But I had the wrong order quantity on that, so that's why I have a long position here by mistake. But I closed it out. And then this is another off cadence. I might have had to, let me see. Yeah, I might have had to, wait, hold on. This is 12:29. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I just, well, first of all, the cadence is wrong because this is a green Enigma long that worked out. So right off the bat, the cadence is wrong. But off cadence because that's the first trade for this wrong cadence setup because it's supposed to be 3 losers in a row. But yeah, either way, outside of that, that's 1 winner and this is 2 winners. So after that, 2 winners already, then you will look for the cadence setup again. So you look for 3 more losers in a row. So that's how this trade is off cadence. And then this, I didn't close here because I was just stubborn and just wanted to make up for my losses pretty much. And then, so we have a runner going on. But this is also what I meant about how sometimes the price can go down and then turn all the way back around and go all the way back to your original point of entry, even without having an opposing signal give you an indication to exit. So that's what can happen sometimes. And so that's why I was saying earlier about how it would have been a good idea if I had just put a stop behind a pivot or something like that, just to guard against those situations where you can have the price come all the way back around without giving you an indication to exit. And yeah, that's what happened in this case right here, which really sucks because what was that like? Man, that was about $400. Yeah, a little under 400 left on the table there, which is rough, but that can happen. And yeah, that's it. So that's a lot of work to do for my sizing. And let's see, sizing, and I had to make sure to adjust the stops of my ATMs, and also making sure that I let the trades I let the trades carry out to completion, which means until a signal of an opposing color occurs. So if you're long, then you're looking for red or pink, and if you're short, you're looking for green or blue, and then you exit on those. And also I'm seriously strongly considering making sure that I just close when the AlgoBox is against me rather than trying to play reversals, because a lot of times I just end up getting caught in that accumulation. And since I know that it's not really easy to practice audio bots outside of market hours, then then just closing would be the best bet. Although I am aware that there's some people. I think someone said that you can just record an entire market session and then play back the recording while you're practicing in playback. But I think that just based on how fast these things can happen, that it'll never be just right, because we'll have to find a way to make sure that the timing is exactly synced with your market replay. Which, yeah, I'm focusing on enough without trying to worry about how to calibrate recording with my playback and all that. So yeah, so that's the trick with adjusting to input from AudioBot. But I think if I just switch from just closing out the position rather than trying to play a reversal, that can really help and take me a long way. All right, so that's it, and that's a lot to work on. Are good. I mean, it doesn't really feel that good, you know. Putting your holding it doesn't really feel that great, but holding yourself to the fire and out in public. But you know, it, at the end of the day, I'm just about getting results, and if you're not getting results, then you really need to pick through everything and just find out what's working. And you really have to you just gotta be willing to criticize yourself and find out what needs to change. Because yeah, at the end of the day, money talks and bullshit walks. Catch you on the flip side.